Life is just a constant, never-ending game of solving problems. I know this because I go through a lot of fucking problems all the time myself, and I have to solve those problems to get out of them. And the way that I solve those problems, I don't let the pressure of life get to me. And the reason why I don't do that is because I lie to myself, okay? I lie to myself. Yes, I am delusional, and I'm a pathological liar to myself. Now, the reason why I'm a liar to myself is because everybody has already lied to me. Society already fed me a story full of lies. And if I keep living the lie that society has fed to me, then that story is going to become my narrative. So how do I break this? How do I break the cycle? In order to break the cycle, I have to create a new narrative, right? And so that's the first principle of life that you want to understand, is that everything in this world is a narrative. It's just a matter of reprogramming the narrative that you are telling yourself. Your brain functions like a computer. You think artificial intelligence is intelligent? Wait till you hear about natural intelligence. You see, natural intelligence is the most intelligent thing of them all. And it's so intelligent that it can be conditioned and tricked so easily, because the smartest people can be led to dumb things, regardless of how smart you are. And that's why you see all of these fucking NPCs winning. Every single time you look at YouTube, you turn on your camera, you see this kid who's in his fucking mother's basement who's saying that he's making $100K a month, and you're just looking at him like, I know I'm smarter than this. Perhaps you even have more experience than him. But for whatever reason, you keep losing. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because, motherfucker, you're not lying to yourself. Okay? You have to become delusional. Okay? Delusional. You have to think that you have a higher IQ than Albert Einstein, that you've generated more money than Alex Hormozi, that you dress better than Iman Ghazi, that you speak better than Jordan Peterson, and that you dress better than, I said dress already. But yeah, that you run faster than fucking, what's the dude's name? Usain Bolt, okay? You have to believe this, because it is the only way you will ever be able to become who you want to become is once you believe in your mind, once you condition your mind to believe that. This is why society makes you think that in order to win, that you have to do whatever they tell you to do, because they know that if they program you for young, then you will not be a threat, okay? Now, the reason why you'll be a threat is because if you learn how to delude yourself, pretty much, you won't have to follow the laws that they put out in this fucking world. And you shouldn't have to do that anyways, okay? So everybody on YouTube, I see so many people talking about this topic, and they make it sound like it's this like super scientific, specialized thing. And I'm just like, bro, like, just think about it. Every single time in your life when you've ever had confidence towards getting something in life, you've been able to achieve it. Even if you didn't know how you was going to get it in the first place. The confidence alone made you believe in yourself. And belief is all you need, okay? You need to believe in yourself as much as whatever the highest form of belief is, right? And once you do that, you'll be able to get further. Because the thing about your mind and the thing about your brain is that when you delude yourself, when you become delusional, you start to, and then you figure out the actions that you want to take in order to become this, to embody this person that you think, that you think you already are. Because once you start to delude yourself, you already think that you're this person. So you don't have to, all you have to do is figure out what are the actions that this person that I am now would take in life in order to do what I want to do, right? And then once you start to take these actions, okay, you start to put energy out into the world. And this energy starts to become habituated. Okay, your actions become habituated, and you start to embody this character that you've created. You see, the thing is that people think in order to change, to reinvent themselves, that they have to do this crazy thing. But the truth of the matter is that when you are reinventing yourself, you don't just reinvent your body, you reinvent your whole mind. You create a character. Okay, this is why it's good to have an anti-ego. Okay, an anti-ego is just another character, and there's multiple characters that live within inside you, and you just have to bring them out. That's why every single time you're around different people, you act in different ways. You are a different character when you're with your mom, and when you're with your friends, and when you're with your girl, or you're with your guy, whoever you're with, you are a different character at that moment, okay? And so this is so easy to you. This is just how human beings function and how they operate. So you need to do that, all right? So now here's the thing, right? So I'm going to tell you how this happened to me. So when I was a security guard, for the longest period of time, I always knew that I would be able to accomplish something. Didn't know what I would be able to accomplish, but I just thought to myself, if I just apply myself to a specific skill set and a specific tangible outcome, that I'll be able to achieve it, okay? And so at first I thought that I wanted to go to school, and I didn't know what I wanted to go to school for. I thought about becoming a lawyer. And the reason why I thought about becoming a lawyer was because I used to like to watch Judge Mathis. I said, okay, maybe I should try that out. That was not the answer for me, okay? Because shortly after my newfound dream to become a lawyer, I ended up basically going from house to house. So I had no time to even study with all these people, okay? So I had to figure out a different way. And I used our good old friend Google and found out about digital marketing. And when I got into digital marketing, I said, the first thing that I want to do is just make $60,000 a year. That was my only goal. Okay? My first job that I ever had, I was making $50,000 a year. My very first job in digital marketing. And then I went from making $50,000 a year to making $75,000 a year. And then I went from 75 to 100 and more and more and more and more. And so it all had to start with this belief that I could achieve more for myself. Even people that I knew personally doubted that this would ever happen. I doubted that this would happen too, because I was like, okay, society tells you, the bullshit that they do. They tell you have to go to school, you have to do this thing, you have to, put 4 years in and blah, 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 blah. Bro, by the time I was done, all I did was I learned a skill. And after I learned the skill, I started pitching myself to all of these companies, landed a job somewhere. And after I landed a job where I landed a job at, I worked my way up in the corporate and I became a director, and I was managing all of the people with college degrees. Funny thing too, they were all older than me, right? I was the youngest person managing all of these people. So that just goes to show you already that you don't have to follow the bullshit path that society has basically laid out for you. And I didn't. And it all started from me lying to myself, from me telling myself that I could accomplish this, okay? I went on from doing that to saying, okay, yes, I work a job, but I need more money. Because when you get into a company, you get capped at a specific income. So I said to myself, I need to make more money. So I'm just gonna be the best. Like, I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna try to get clients. So what I did was I focused all my time on trying to become really, really good at SEO. And I realized that afterwards, after I spent all this time, that that wasn't what was going to get me clients. You see, what was going to get me clients was putting my name out there, talking to people, and getting involved with, making connections and relationships and blah, 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 and all that other stuff. Then I managed to get my first client, right? And my first client wasn't even paying me a lot. My first client was paying me, I think it was like $1,200 a month, right? $1,200 a month. But that was still enough extra income and also a confidence boost that told me that I could do this, right? And then I went from getting a $1,200 a month client to getting a $2,500 a month client, okay? And then I went from that to getting a $5,000 a month client, okay? And all of it just compounds. You just have to do it once, and then you start, and then now I've basically habituated this behavior so much that if I see anything less than $1,200, right? Or if I see anything less than $2,500, right? I don't even align with this anymore, okay? This feels like nothing to me. Now, does it mean that I can't use an extra $1,200? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that before I would have been happy for this, now my expectations are so high because of the heights that I've been able to climb, the fact that I've been able to get multiple people to pay me this amount, and the fact that I've been able to make a lot of money off of doing this stuff, that when I don't see this amount, I feel sad, I feel miserable, I feel like I want to off myself, right? Okay, so now this all started from me lying to myself, okay? So if I never deluded myself and believed that I would be able to do any of this, I would have never been able to accomplish any of this, and I would have never known that I had the capacity to accomplish something like this in the first place. So it all first starts with a thought. What is the thought? Those thoughts, you make yourself deluded, you turn those thoughts into actions, you turn those actions into a habit, right? Like you do them over and over again until basically your mind is programmed. And guess what? Now this starts to become your identity. Okay? You start to identify with a person who understands how to do all this stuff, and then it just becomes an expectation. Your expectation for yourself is all through this. If you're just thinking to yourself about like doing it and you're not doing the action, you're not going to make the progress that you want. And I fall victim to this myself, even still to this day. Sometimes I think to myself, what do I want to do? Because once you start to, when you started with a goal that's like, okay, I just want to make some money, and then you make the money, then you start to think about deeper things in that. And that's a topic for a whole nother conversation. But I just want you to know that all of this happened because I lied to myself. When I went to the gym and I started losing weight in the gym, like if you go look at my videos from like last year, I lost like 40 pounds. And you look at my videos from last year, I gained a little bit of weight back. But if you look at my videos from last year and you look to the years prior, you will notice how slim my face was. And how did I do that? Well, I lied to myself. I told myself that I was already in shape. I told myself that I don't eat bread. I told myself that I don't eat after a certain time. And I changed my whole routine. And my routine went from, and you're not going to believe this, and I'm so serious about this, okay? This was my routine, literally. I'm going to tell you right now, this is literally my routine. Okay, so I woke up every day at 4 a.m. When I woke up at 4 a.m. every day, I was able to get work done because everybody was sleeping. And I needed to get rid of the distractions. So I woke up every day at 4 a.m. and I got work done. Okay? Then I used to go, I probably do like, let's say an hour of work in the beginning of the day. At 5 o'clock, I'm walking my dog. Walking dog. I walked my dog for about an hour. I was walking in total for about 6 hours a day. You're probably not going to believe that. And it was in between this time schedule. Then I was going to MMA. I had a personal trainer. Okay. I was going to sleep at 7 o'clock every day. 7 p.m. every day. Which means that I wasn't eating when I went to sleep either. So I wasn't eating past 7 o'clock. Okay? And also, not only was I not eating past 7 o'clock, I was waking up at 4 a.m. every day. And I would do all this stuff every single day. Oh, and I was also going to something called Restore. Restore. Okay? Where they would give me IVs in my like bloodstream. Okay? And I was doing this every day. This was literally my routine. Every day. And you know what's so crazy is that my life became a flow state. I got into the flow state doing this to the point where this became automatic. I basically turned into an NPC. Every day I did this without fail. Every day. And it was the only reason why I stopped doing this is because I ended up getting into a relationship. But literally every single day, I was doing this every single day. Okay? So we like to make fun of NPCs, but the way that you'll make the most progress in your life is by becoming a fucking NPC and lying to yourself. Okay? So I said this like several times, but I just want to reinforce this. Okay? So here's what I want you to do to lie to yourself. Here's your actionable takeaways that you need to go implement in your life right now to get further. to achieve whatever you want. And I'm not saying that you're not going to have adversity. You're going to have problems. I have problems. We all have problems. Problems come. Problems are waiting. But the good thing about problems is that when you have problems, you know that you're making progress. Because in order to experience the problems that you have to be making movement. Okay? And typically, when you are not making progress, or typically, once you've made progress and you understand the answer of how to solve the problems, then the problems don't feel like problems anymore. So most of the time, all of the problems that you have stem to you because they feel new, right? Because if you solved the problem before, you already know the answer. Okay? If you get fired from a job, just go get another one. You already know the answer, right? Like, that's not a problem. You already know the answer. It's like doing a math equation. And they give you like, what's 2 plus 2? That's not a problem. You already know the answer. You have the solution. Okay? So here's an actionable thing to do. All right. The first thing is, and I mean this so seriously, okay? I want you to wake up at 4 a.m. The first thing you do when you wake up, I want you to pray. And I'm not saying pray to God because some people don't believe in that. But I believe that you should pray to yourself. And you should pray to yourself because you want to actualize what you want out of life. And you can only actualize what you want out of life through constantly talking to yourself. Okay? So pray to yourself. I want you to challenge all of the mental thoughts that you have that seem to be as if they are detrimental to you. So get a notebook, okay? And every single time you have a negative thought, I want you to write the negative thought down. Okay? Every single time. And after you write the negative thought down, I want you to spend 30 minutes challenging the negative thought. Like literally sparring yourself. You're having a debate with yourself. Because remember what I said, you have multiple characters inside you. And sometimes your old character comes out. And your old character comes out because it wants to challenge you. Because it doesn't want you to grow. It doesn't want you to get where you need to go. Okay? So you need to challenge that old character. Okay? You need to challenge that. Because that's not who you are anymore. Okay? I want you to spend less time watching what others are doing. Except for me. Okay? Watch me all the time. Alright? Don't watch anybody else. Watch me. No, I'm joking. Stop watching what other people are doing. Okay? Stop watching what other people are doing because you're going to put yourself in this mindset of constantly comparing yourself to other people, and it's going to be detrimental for you. Okay? Read this book. This is one of the best books that I've ever read. The Book of Mirdad. I know some of you are probably like, oh, Andrew Tate tells me not to read. Why should I read? You need to read, not because you just need information. You need to read because reading teaches you a very valuable skill. And the skill that reading teaches you is not just, it teaches you multiple skills. It teaches you how to be articulate, teaches you how to formulate your thoughts, teaches you how to reason. But that's not the most important skill that it teaches you. In a world full of constant dopamine hits, reading teaches you how to be disciplined and sit in a spot for a long period of time. It helps you build mental resilience. That's the only reason why I like to read. I hate reading, but it helps me build mental resilience. Okay? So I recommend doing this. And if you watch this whole video, tell me what you think about this format. I'm going to be making more videos like this. This is Dre Unfiltered. I'm giving you everything that I've learned across the last 10 years of my life. In business, in health, even the things that I'm still dealing with. In life in general, relationships, all of that. I'm going to give you everything. And hopefully this video, this camera, this angle, you like this. Because to me it looks a little bit blurry, but maybe it might not seem that way when you guys are watching it back. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. And I just ranted for hella long. See you next one. Peace.